Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we have an exciting topic to discuss and that has been making waves in the investment world for some time. Nanodimension, ticker symbol NNDM. And in this video we will dive into a comprehensive analysis of NNDM, explore its background, the recent performance, the future prospects, and key factors to consider before investing. Before the video begins, if you would like to see more stock analysis videos like this one, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please check out the affiliate links down in the description if you would like to support my channel with no extra cost for you when using those services. So with all that being said, let's jump right into it. As the market remains very volatile at the moment, we should always be mindful of which positions to pick, as well as their individual timing for entry and exits. Recently, one of the merger targets of Nanodimension's, Stratasys, rejected the proposal of Nndm to buy up their shares because they think that the offer undervalues what they're actually worth. So already, from June 29th and upward, I have seen like a significant response from the market to Nanodimension, probably because of this. I say probably because there will always be other reasons as well, and we're going to talk more about them. But I think that the fact that they didn't buy Stratasys is one of those reasons, and it's probably a chunky one at that. So it is possible that Nanodimension overall is also entering into a new phase where people will move from just trading the stock or speculating on its short-term price action into actually investing in this company, anticipating that it's going to have a break-even point soon in a couple of years. And in fact, this timeline probably got accelerated with the recent announcements. And in fact, Nanodimension went up by 1.4% on Monday's trading session, and over the past week it went up by almost 30%. The reason behind this increase is composite. The most obvious ones seem to be the positive fundamental results, and if I may say so, the fact that they didn't buy a seemingly overvalued merger target in an overall bearish market waiting to be corrected, or at least that's the anticipation of things. It's likely that the stakeholders believe that Nanodimension will obtain a better deal when the market goes through more significant price corrections. In the long term, the price has been stabilizing around $2.40 level for a significant chunk of time, apart from the recent dip down to like $2.20. So, considering how bearish the market and especially the Nasdaq has been over the past year or so, keeping the price around a stable base is already something. Now, we can also take a look at the company's technicals. The trading volume of Nanodimension currently is around 3.2 million shares versus the average of 3.1 million shares. Over the last 52 weeks, the price fluctuated between $2.06 and $3.74. The volume of shares traded tells us how many shares are being bought and sold at any given point in time, and if there is enough liquidity to support a trading strategy. If the float is very thin, it's going to be very easy to influence the stock price, but low liquidity could mean that the demand is limited too. When we compare like the current volume against the average volume, there might be a possibility for trend reversal or breakthrough if the difference is very large. Now, in this case, well, let's see. It's 3.2 versus 3.1, so I wouldn't expect Nanodimension to go through a breakthrough. However, I can say that Nndm can probably maintain the current tendency and to edge upward. The market cap of Nanodimension is currently $613 million compared to the enterprise value of $321 million. In other words, it has about 100% of goodwill into the whole mix. When we compare the current price to the historical price fluctuations, The stock is 36% higher than the 1 month low, 36% higher than the 3 month low, and 36% higher than the 52 weeks low. On the options market, which often gives us a hint on the market sentiment on where the stock price is likely going to head next, the implied volatility is 63% versus a historical volatility of 53%. The put-call volume ratio is currently around 0.12. In other words, most people in the options market anticipate that the price for Nano will increase. The most recent volume of options traded is 4.1 thousand contracts a day versus the 30-day average of 2.8 thousand, which indicates like a uptick in the activity and the interest that Nano has been gathering. Regarding the open interest, the volume of open interest is around 125,000 versus the 30-day average of 124,000. In terms of the shareholder structure, institutional shareholders own 35% of its outstanding shares. The biggest shareholders include ARK, State Street, and BlackRock. It's always good to see a significant level of institutional participation in Nano because it's going to give us a layer of stability, reliability, and legitimacy as far as, how can I put this, as far as investing into any stock goes. And in this case, I think that it's high enough for me to think about owning a piece of Nano for the years to come. The current short interest is around 7% of the total float, with 42% of the transactions coming out from the dark pools. Typically, if the short interest is above 15%, it's considered high with a potential for short squeeze. So in this case, there's very little to no potentials for short squeeze. Those people who are shorting it probably are shorting out of their own right without any sort of concerted conclusion or diagnostic from the larger fish in the pond. Nndm is a company specializing in intelligent machines helping to upgrade the efficiency of manufacturing processes. They are indeed one of the pioneers in what we now refer to as the Industry 4.0. The manufacturing landscape has been undergoing a major transformation known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution. This revolution is driven by advanced technologies reshaping the way that goods and products are being made. It builds upon the progress of previous industrial revolutions. The first revolution brought mechanization with steam. The second revolution used electricity for mass production. Now, the fourth revolution integrates cutting-edge technologies to redefine manufacturing processes. One crucial technology among all this is the Internet of Things, IoT, connecting machines, sensors, connectors, products through the Internet. This connectivity allows real-time communication and data sharing, enabling much better control and optimized production processes. Another essential technology is big data and analytics. Industry 4.0 leverages a vast amount of manufacturing data, which are collected, analyzed, and then transformed into information. This data provides valuable insights, enabling manufacturers to make data-driven or information-driven decisions for process improvements, quality control, and predictive maintenance. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, technologies are also integral to Industry 4.0. AI-powered systems learn from data and perform tasks traditionally requiring human input. In the manufacturing industry, AI and ML enhance productivity, quality, and safety by optimizing and automating repetitive tasks, workflows, and detecting anomalies. There's also another concept called additive manufacturing. Commonly known as the 3D printing, this is another key technology that Nano uses to leverage itself. It allows for the creation of three-dimensional objects by adding materials layer by layer. This technology offers the benefit like highly customizable products, very rapid prototyping, and the reduced waste in the production process itself. The robotics and automation play a very crucial role in Industry 4.0 as they can perform complex tasks with precision, speed, and consistency, and that regardless of the scale of the operations, leading to increased productivity, reduced errors, and improved safety in the manufacturing operations. Nanodimension is an early participant in additive manufacturing. These are called AME, additively manufactured electronics. This is an especially promising new direction in manufacturing because the company aims to transform the way manufacturing currently works, and not just in terms of the facility size, but also the variety of products that those platforms can support. Nanodimension is known for undergoing a series of strategic acquisitions, integrating many advanced platforms with the help of deep learning AI neural networks. Now, Nanodimension positions itself in the manufacturing world in a very high spot so that its products are sold to other fellow manufacturers. They are partially insulated against the direct fluctuations of consumer goods demand, since their platforms can be used to produce many kinds of goods. These platforms also allow their clients to increase their own productivity, the possibilities in terms of scale and quality of goods, as well as opening the possibility to new markets. In terms of financial, as it stands, Nanodimension saw its activities increasing significantly from 2021 to 2022, with revenues more than $43 million, increasing by a whopping 216% over the course of just 1 year. But more importantly, the gross profit of the company totals $14 million in 2022, which is very significant. The gross profit is a testament that the business model of Nanodimension will work if we give it enough time for it to grow in size. The research and development cost of Nanodimension increased significantly as well, and this can be a very encouraging sign for a company that relies on its technologies in order to compete in this undeveloped landscape of Industry 4.0. In a way, I don't necessarily consider this cost as a regular expense, but more like an investment for the future. Regarding its operating costs, they have increased somewhat over the course of 2022 from 2021, but not as much as its revenue increase. This is why I believe that Nanodimension will be able to eventually improve its finances thanks to its own operational cash inflows. This is not the case yet, of course, and I believe that we are looking at something of that sort in the near future. Basically, a lot of the cash flows are a result of the purchases Nanodimension accumulated over the years, with their individual values fluctuating in the eyes of the open market as the economy has entered into a different phase, changed into a different paradigm. I believe that we should be mindful that Nanodimension is a company that aims to grow for the foreseeable future and currently has no plans in increasing its capacities just yet. In that sense, things are progressing according to the plans. The company also mentioned that they will have enough resources to maintain their ongoing operations at least for the next 12 months. So for the time being, things are definitely under control. Now, there is, of course, another element to consider when determining if you should be buying Nanodimension. This comes down ultimately to the amount of money that is willing to risk their luck in the equities market. What I'm trying to say here is that regardless of if Nanodimension is a good equity or not, at some point, people have a very crowd-based behavior or reflex in the sense that they are willing to go in a stock depending on if other people surrounding them are willing to do the same thing. Currently, everyone is trying to safekeep their money. They're trying to go to the safer options simply because the inflation is so high and the interest rates are so high as well. And also, the appetite for equity after almost 15 years of unstopped growth is something that a lot of people are wondering whether this should take place. So, I'm not saying that right now is not a good time to buy Nano Dimension or not, because that will depend on its short term and long term price action that we talked about earlier. However, what I know for sure is that as far as a company is concerned, Nano Dimension is on the right side of things. The reason why I want to say this is because, on a personal level, I do prefer to see gross profit that is positive than anything else. Yes, they're making acquisitions. Yes, they're having a lot of money inflow from the sale of equity. But really, what matters the most for me is and remains the amount of money that they can make from their products alone. Because as soon as this becomes a reality, it simply means that it's going to be a matter of time before the company becomes profitable as a whole. Now, my recommendation for Nano Dimension is to start buying Nano Dimension shares slowly over the next few months in an overall approach of investing in Nano Dimension in years to come. This is why it's very important to only gradually increase your exposure in order to get the shares at the best prices possible. I would recommend to commit between 1 to 3% of your portfolio in Nano Dimension. And I would also recommend to split the allocation in batches of 10 to 20% at a time over the next 3 to 6 months so that you may purchase more in case of further retracements.